When you're finding a place to rent and you're putting in offers on places and consistently getting rejected by landlords, I know that can feel really diminishing and it can be discouraging, right? And it can be really tiring and exhausting. So I wanted to make this video and explain how I help my clients find a place a lot easier. And I find a lot of agents are not implementing this, and a lot of tenants have no idea that this strategy even exists. And when I explain it to them, they're so grateful that somebody's doing this approach, because it saves time on everybody's part, on my part, on the tenant's part, on the landlord's part, and it makes the whole rental process a lot easier. A lot of agents do not do this, and they're told to only work with people that have 750 minimum credit. I work with everybody, and I believe I can help everybody in real estate, and I've got people accepted with bankruptcies, with low 500s on government programs, and a lot of landlords don't want to rent to these types of profiles, and they need a place to rent, right? So I'm making this for the consumer. I'm making this to better the rental market and make the entire rental process a lot easier. And I believe I have one of the best systems and strategies of doing it, and that's just pre-offers. I'm a licensed realtor here in Ontario, and I have over 200 Google reviews, and I've helped a lot of people find rental places by only being in this business for only 2 years. So I've done pretty well. This is how the pre-offer strategy works. Let's take a scenario. We have a husband and wife that are looking for a 1-bedroom condo in Liberty Village. I'll set them up on the search, and I'll send them every single property in Liberty Village, and I'll also see when they're looking at moving in, their budget. I'll get their entire criteria down. I'll send them everything that's available. As realtors, we do have access to every single property, so I'll send them everything that is for their criteria. Let's say they like 5 of the properties. I'll do a pre-offer on all 5 of those. So pre-offer is I'm gonna share the profile, so the income, credit, who's moving in, the price, the move-in date, with the listing agent who's representing the landlord. Then we'll get the landlord to take a look at it, or I'll ask the listing agent, what do you think of the profile? Like, do you think your client would consider? And I'm having this conversation with them in the back end. This is me working for the tenant and me making sure that they have a chance of renting the place before we even go drive and take a look at it. Let's just say out of the 5, 3 come back positive. I'm gonna book the showings, all 3 of them in one day, and we're gonna go see them all right away, because I know rentals move really fast. The average rental gets leased out within 30 days. Some really good units that everybody's trying to scope for a good deal, it'll get taken within 5 days. I've gotten deals done that have been on the market for like 1 or 2 days. So good properties get swooped up fast by tenants that are ready to go. So this strategy, make sure that you're ready to go. So as soon as you get pre-approved, like it could be within 1 hour, 2 hours, we're gonna go take a look at all 3 of those units that you like. And then during the showing, if you like any, at least right afterwards, we can immediately put in an offer, right? So by the time I meet you, you get your documents, which could take a little bit depending on if you have to get a job letter or pay stubs. Those can take a little bit while. That's why it's better to have your documents ready beforehand. We'll go see the 3 places that are pre-approved, and right afterwards, you can choose which one you like and we can put in an offer. If you don't like it, then we can go back to square one and we'll redo the whole entire process. Let's just say you like 2 properties. You give me your first pick and then your second pick. I'll apply for the first one, and we already know you have a very, very high probability of getting accepted. And typically, this is how I'm only showing 5, 6 properties, maybe max per tenant that I help out, because they're pre-approved on the unit, and you know that when you walk in, this is a home that you can actually live in, and it's not just gambling on if the landlord would accept you for X, Y, and Z. They're scared, right? So this process makes it way easier. So by the time I put in an offer, within 24 hours, we'll get a yes or no. If it's a yes, you do your first and last and it's done. If I can meet somebody, if they have their documents ready, do the pre-offer, we could go see the units and we can be completely under contract and they can be secured and have a place to rent within 72 hours. It happens so fast. I feel like a lot of agents are not doing this right now. Some are, and the ones that are doing it are doing really well, and you can tell. Because just seeing places is very misleading, and you're not representing the tenant properly because you don't know if they're pre-approved. Just like when you're gonna go buy a house, you're gonna get pre-approved by a mortgage lender. You're gonna see what you qualify for to purchase. It's the same thing in rentals. You gotta see if you get pre-qualified by the decision maker, which is really the landlord. They're gonna say yes or no to your profile. So why don't we have them say yes to you before we even step foot in the property? All the pre-offers I send are not binding agreements. It's just a pre-qualification to see if the landlord is looking for a tenant that's similar to your profile. So me doing this, Like I said, I only do one set of showings, two set of showings if the tenant doesn't like the property. And really, that's just how I'm able to help so many people. I wanted to make this video super quick, super informative, and just explain the rental process, because I feel like a lot of tenants are misguided and they're not being represented by the realtors properly. So I hope that this message goes across, and I hope that if a realtor is watching this, you do pre-offers, make sure they're pre-approved. And a lot of listing agents may not like that, right? They may say, go see the property. That's how we did it, right? That's how I did it when I first got my license before COVID or in 2005. I'm sorry, but we're entering 2026. And if you're watching this, we're probably already in 2026, and we are in an entirely different market, and you have to get your tenant pre-approved on the units they like before you even step foot in the property. If you have any questions at all on this video, or you want to reach out to me, I'll leave my contact details below. Whether or not you're going to use me or another realtor, just make sure to explain this process to them so they are able to represent you better. That's pretty much it, honestly. So in summary, really quick, how I help people is I get documents first, I get you pre-approved, we go see all the units that are pre-approved in one day, and then we put in offers for the places that you do like, starting at your most favorite and then your least favorite. And we'll skip the ones that you don't want to put offers in, and you'll most likely get accepted. The only time you won't get accepted is if it's already leased out because another tenant came in quicker, they got an offer that is a little bit better than yours, maybe the price or the profile the landlord prefers. But majority of the time, my tenants are getting the first or second properties that they like because, like I said, they've been pre-approved. And that is the biggest game changer in the rental market. It will make everybody's life a lot easier, the tenant especially, because I know that moving is very stressful, and I know that it's very diminishing, right? Like I said at the beginning of the video, you're putting in offers and you're getting rejected consistently. So this approach allows you to find a rental with ease. I hope you use a realtor. If you want to use me, that's cool. If not, like I said, explain this process to them. I'll leave my contact information below. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to contact me anytime. And yeah, that's pretty much it.